Welcome to a new release on the show. This is the 5 questions to nourish the mind, body, and soul. To get to know the person sat in front of me a little bit more and ask them questions they wouldn't normally have. This has become very quickly one of my favourite parts of the interview. Now, we are re-releasing these because we released these months ago for our paid subscribers over on my newsletter, The Compassionate Cure on Substack. If you're not a paid subscriber, you will get these months in advance as being part of our community. However, we are now starting to release them. So enjoy. This is more of a personal connection and a shorter episode, but it really gets into the heart and not into the mind of the person who is sat in front of me. Okay, Stacy, I'm going to ask you 5 questions for life on nourishing your body, your mind, and your soul. Are you ready?
Okay, let's do this.
Okay, I just want you to answer what comes to your mind. And this is very hard for people on this podcast as everybody is very intellectualized in their minds or forming an answer. I want you to fill the answer. Okay. Question 1. What is the one small thing about you that makes you you?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. My cells. I'll say my cells. My cells make me me.
Stop being a scientist.
Okay. I'll be more abstract next time.
Okay. What's been the most persistent area of your life and how did you overcome it?
Gosh, I would actually say imposter syndrome across my entire life because I've always been in male dominated industries and I haven't overcome it. It's still there. It's there at round tables with other powerful women. And we all look at each other and go, well, what are we doing here? Oh, well, we belong here. We belong here at this table. But it is something that's a constant battle.
And I love that you said it's still ongoing.
It
Which is
is.
always such a big part of an answer. Okay. What's the smallest change that has brought the most ease into your life?
Sleeping in, not feeling like I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get things done, allowing myself to sleep at least until 6:30, and the rest of the day is so much easier. Just that extra bit of sleep.
Okay, well, this is a big one for you, Stacey. What's one health-related change that's made such a significant impact on your well-being?
I stopped racing and didn't have, yeah. So I loved racing when I was in it. But now that I've gotten out of it, I've tried to dabble to get back into it again. But I realize that the mindset and the commitment that you have to be to get that fit to be competitive in racing isn't my jam. And so when I let that go, I was like, sweet, I'm training for life. I'm going to spend more time in the gym because I find that fun. I'm going to go do this ultimate athlete obstacle course race because that sounds fun. Instead of training for bike racing or training for a triathlon or training for this or training, it's like, let's just see what the body can do because I'm training for life.
That's amazing. It's like taking the pressure off, right? No pressure.
Absolutely. Yep.
And you do it for pure joy.
Yep.
This is a big one. What's the hardest thing for you to make peace with about yourself in life or in general? It could be anything.
Perfectionism, because I'm always like, I want to get that extra little bit, but then I always have it in my head what my dad would say when I was even in high school, wanting to get to that perfection. I need all A pluses and, just that drive to be the best. He's like, government rule, 80% is enough. No one else will know the other 20%. So when I start to get super obsessive, I'm like, 80% rule. And it's really hard to let things go and say it's good enough.
It's really hard. I actually interviewed yesterday Oliver Berkman, who has a very big newsletter called The Imperfectionist and talks a lot about the anxious overachiever for this very thing and around letting go on the whole perfectionism because actually you can get so much more. So I love the 80-20% rule. I think that applies to so much of life, which I'm sure you'll probably agree with, whether it's like nutrition,
Yeah.
whether it's exercise, mindset.
All of that. Yep. I have a good friend who struggles with it as well. And she has a friend who is a sports psychologist. And he said, here's what you need to do. You need to go buy a puzzle. It doesn't matter what puzzle it is. And before you put it on the table to actually do the puzzle, I want you to reach in and grab 3 pieces and throw them away. I want you to throw the pieces away and never think about them. And then you have to spend time each day doing that puzzle, knowing that one, it's a waste of time, and two, there's always going to be three pieces that doesn't finish that puzzle. I was like, I couldn't do that. Like that just goes against every grain in my body of completion and doing something for purpose. And she said, that's exactly the point. It's allowing you to understand that you don't have to have a perfectionist mindset when you know what the outcome is going to be.
That's such
It's
a big
crazy.
philosophy for life, right? There's always going to
Yeah.
be pieces missing. Always. Are you going to do it, or is it just too much for you
I
to
don't think I
think
can.
about?
I can't do that. Not yet. I'll circle back and see if you've done it.
Okay. What if I do it? Will you do it?
Uh,
That could become the challenge
maybe.
of like, oh, now she's done it and my other friend's
Yeah.
done it. Now I should do it.
Yeah. We
There we
should
go.
start a whole social meme on it.
I know, that's what I'm
We should,
thinking.
yeah. Okay.
This is already
Let's do
coming
it.
into my brain. How to
Yeah.
reduce the perfectionism. Get a
Yeah.
puzzle. Okay. Well, the whole thing about these questions, Stacey, which is the last one I'm going to leave you with, is my work focuses a lot on. It started in nutrition and it's also overlapped into self-compassion, because I believe that's such a big antidote to getting us to actually where we need to be. The acceptance of ourselves will make the right health choices because we're more connected and we're more kinder to ourselves rather than berating
Mm.
ourselves. So, how do you implement self-compassion in your life? Or do you actually? Do you?
Do I? Yes, and I say that because I realize a lot of the, I guess, the rhetoric and stuff that's out there that can influence my daughter, and I don't want to contribute to that. So if I tell her it's okay not to be liked by everyone, or it's okay that you didn't finish this, or it's okay to do this or that, I realize that I have to be okay with it too. So it's been a work in progress. So when I think about it, it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter that I didn't finish this one part. I spent time with my daughter instead. Or it's okay that, I decided that I wanted to stay up late and I was going to eat a whole thing of chocolate just because, right? And I would usually berate myself and go, oh, why did you do that? And it's like, it's okay. So it's just a letting go. And I feel like I can't be a good role model if I don't actually implement it myself.
So true. You're the mirror.
Mm,
You're the mirror to your daughter. That's the
yeah.
biggest.
Which is scary.
It's scary, but isn't it amazing, right? That your self love, I see this a lot. Your self love, I don't like using the term self love. Your friendship to yourself has come around because of the love for your daughter. And that's such a big way that love for ourselves comes around, because we have so much love for someone else. Our compassion's stronger for someone else, which then means we then need to kind of think about how we are with ourselves.
Yeah. Compassion and empathy. Those are the two things I find missing a lot in humanity now.
Mm-hmm. So do I. Okay, Stacey, you completely smashed those
Oh,
questions. So you can
awesome.
relax now, because we're going to go
Okay.
very much into the area of your domain.
The cells. We can talk about cells now.